The untold history of the UEFA Super Cup. How did a journalist's random idea lead to the creation of one of the most significant cup trophies of the century? In this video, we'll dive into the history of the Super Cup and clash of champions between Real Madrid and Atalanta. Will the Giants reign supreme, or will the underdog shock the world? But before we get started, did you know that the first ever Super Cup wasn't sponsored by Uefa, but by a Dutch newspaper? Surprising, right? Well, let's get into the video. Back in the early 70s, a Dutch journalist named Anton Vidkamp had this brilliant idea. What if the winners of the European Cup played against the winners of the European Cup Winners' Cup? You know, there was always this ongoing debate about who ruled European football, but no one could ever agree on the answer. European football at this point was already thrilling, with legendary teams like Real Madrid, Benfica, and Milan battling it out for glory in their respective tournaments. But Vidkamp saw an opportunity for something even bigger. He envisioned a match that would not only celebrate the champions of these prestigious cups, but also give fans a spectacular clash of titans. It was the match that could settle all debates and answer the big question: who truly is the best team in Europe? Vidkamp pitched his idea, and the excitement it generated was electric. The concept was simple, but brilliant. The European Cup, now known as the Champions League, was the pinnacle of club football, featuring the creme de la creme of European teams. The Cup Winners' Cup, on the other hand, was for those who had triumphed in their national cup competitions. Both tournaments were fiercely competitive, and the idea of their winners going head-to-head was irresistible. The first match took place in 1972, but it wasn't officially sanctioned by UEFA. Ajax, the European Cup winners, faced off against Rangers, the Cup Winners' Cup champions. This unofficial clash was like a test run, and despite not having UEFA's blessing, it was a thrilling encounter. The match was financed by a Dutch newspaper named De Telegraaf. Ajax emerged victorious, defeating Rangers 6-3 on aggregate, but the result didn't go into the official record books. UEFA soon realised the potential of this competition. By 1973, they decided to make it official, recognising the value in creating a super clash between the best teams for their top tournaments. Ajax again found themselves in the spotlight, facing AC Milan in the first recognised UEFA Super Cup. Ajax won the Super Cup 6-1, cementing their dominance and giving the Super Cup the prestigious start it needed. Vidkamp's idea had not only taken root, but flourished, setting the stage for one of European football's most anticipated matches each year. The UEFA Super Cup was born from a simple, brilliant idea from a journalist, which quickly grew into a competition that showcased the pinnacle of club football. Early years. The competition's original format was a two-leg affair, similar to the first official match between AC Milan and Ajax. Each side played two games, one of which was the decisive match, at home. Like a mini-series of football, except with twice as many games and twice as much excitement. Giving each club an equal opportunity to compete on their home field was the plan, but it also required the players to put in more travel and preparation time. The following year saw some interesting developments and issues. In 1974, Bayern Munich was meant to face off against Magdeburg, but both teams could not find a mutually convenient date. The Super Cup was quickly becoming a stage where different football philosophies collided, giving fans a taste of varied tactics and flair. However, there were some bumps along the way. Not every team was eager to participate. For instance, in 1975, Dynamo Kiev faced Bayern Munich in a one-off match, rather than a two-legged tie, due to scheduling issues. Despite these issues, the competition continued to grow. One of the most memorable matches from the early years was the 1977 Super Cup, where Liverpool faced Hamburg. After a 1-1 draw in the first leg with goals from both Hamburg, Ferdinand Keller, and Liverpool Fairclough, then Liverpool demolished Hamburg 6-0 in the return leg at Anfield, with a hat-trick from McDermott and goals from Fairclough, Dalglish, and Thompson. By the late 70s, the Super Cup was gaining more traction and popularity from fans, and clubs were beginning to take it more seriously after seeing the bragging rights it gave to Nottingham Forest after their win in 1979. You're probably wondering which Nottingham Forest I'm talking about. Yes, it's the same Nottingham Forest that has been relegated from the Premier League multiple times. You might be surprised to learn the Nottingham Forest boasts 2 Champions League titles, putting them in the same league as Chelsea, Porto, and Benfica. Evolution. The UEFA Super Cup started to find its groove in the 1980s and 90s. In the 1980s, the Super Cup continued using the 2-legged format. This format provided us with some unforgettable moments, such as when Aberdeen, under the management of a young Alex Ferguson, faced the powerful Hamburg in 1983. Now, Hamburg was no pushover. They had just won the European Cup, but Aberdeen pulled off a stunning upset, winning 2-0 at home and drawing 0-0 away to take the Super Cup. It was a classic underdog story, and it put Ferguson on the map as a manager to watch. Fast forward to 1986, and we had Steaua Bucharest going up against Dynamo Kiev. This was a clash of Eastern European giants, and it didn't disappoint. Steaua won the first leg 1-0, and then held on for a 1-1 draw in the second leg to clinch the title. These matches were intense, showing just how much the Super Cup meant to the teams involved. Then there were whispers of a format change by the late 1980s. Although there was a growing appreciation for 2-leg ties, a single, definitive match was desired. Then, in the 1990s, things started to shake up. In 1998, UEFA decided to switch to a single match format, played at a neutral venue. This was a game changer. Stade Louis II in Monaco hosted the first single match Super Cup, which was between Chelsea and Real Madrid, which ended as a 1-0 win for Chelsea, and this went on to become a new custom. With everything on the line in just 90 minutes, or 120 if it went to extra time, it created an entirely new level of suspense. With the ability to see the entire match in one sitting, this format increased the excitement and accessibility of the Super Cup for spectators. The 1990s would see a lot of growth, development, and several noteworthy games, like when Barcelona played Werder Bremen in 1992, with the renowned Johan Cruyff leading the team. Barcelona prevailed in an exciting match, winning 3-2 overall. Then, in 1995, Ajax faced Real Zaragoza, with young players like Edgar Davids and Patrick Kluivert leading the team. With their 5-1 win over Zaragoza, Ajax cemented their place as a dominant team. One of the biggest standout matches from this era was in 1999, when Lazio faced Manchester United, who had just won the treble. United was fresh off their treble-winning season and was the team to beat, but Lazio, with players like Pavel Nedved and Alessandro Nesta, managed to pull off a 1-0 victory thanks to a goal from Salas. It was a match that showed anything could happen in the Super Cup. The 1980s and 90s were pivotal for the Super Cup, turning it from a fledgling idea into a prestigious event. However, the 2000s was packed with drama, excitement, and unforgettable moments. Modern era. In the early 2000s, the fans were now getting used to the single match game, and this created some unforgettable moments. Take 2001 for example. Liverpool faced Bayern Munich in what was a thrilling encounter. Liverpool pulled off a 3-2 victory with goals from Riese, Heskey and Owen, and it was a match that had everything: goals, drama, and a nail-biting finish. Then there was the 2012 Super Cup, when Atletico Madrid took on Chelsea. Chelsea had just won the Champions League with players like Petr Cech, Frank Lampard, Juan Mata and Ashley Cole. They were rising on high, but Atletico surprised them by beating them 4-1, with Falcao scoring a hat-trick. The modern era has also brought some underdog stories that we all love. Do you remember when Bayern Munich faced Chelsea again in 2013? This time, it was an absolute thriller that went to penalties after a 2-2 draw. Bayern ended up winning after penalties, making them the first German club to win the trophy. And we can't talk about the modern era without mentioning the recent dominance of teams like Real Madrid. They've turned the Super Cup into almost an annual tradition. Their 2016 victory over Sevilla was particularly memorable. The match ended 3-2 in extra time, and it was just pure drama all the way through. They went on to win it again the next year, and then win their 5th Super Cup trophy by 2022, when they played Frankfurt and won 2-0, with goals from David Alaba and Karim Benzema. The 2023 Super Cup featured a clash between Manchester City and Sevilla, with Manchester City emerging victorious in a penalty shootout, winning 5-4 after a 1-1 draw. Goals from Cole Palmer and En-Nesyri set the stage for the dramatic finish, which saw Manchester City lift their first Super Cup trophy. Of course, the competition isn't without its criticisms. Some people still see it as just a glorified friendly, especially with the timing, often right at the start of the new season. But for many fans, the Super Cup is a perfect blend of prestige and entertainment. It's a chance to see top teams go head to head in a high stakes environment. Super Cup 2024. Now let's talk about the upcoming UEFA Super Cup on the 14th of August, where Real Madrid will face Atalanta. Real Madrid, the kings of European football, are coming into this match as the clear favourites. They had an incredible Champions League run, knocking out heavyweights like Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, with those matches nothing short of epic. Real Madrid showcased their classic blend of skill and experience against Borussia Dortmund, winning 2-0 comfortably, and that never-say-die attitude against Bayern Munich, when they scored their comeback goals at 88 and 91 minutes of the match. They've got stars like Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Jude Bellingham, who are all in top form, and with the inclusion of Mbappe, it's hard not to see them as the team to beat. But let's not count out Atalanta. These guys are the dark horses who love to play the underdog role to perfection. Their Europa League campaign was something special. They faced Bayern Leverkusen, who hadn't lost a single game all season, and what did Atalanta do? They beat them. It was a shocking result, but it showed exactly what Atalanta is capable of. With players like Ademola Lookman and Tjun Koopmeiners leading the charge, they're not just here to make up the numbers. Real Madrid might have the upper hand on paper, but football isn't played on paper, is it? Atalanta has proven they can rise to the occasion and pull off the unexpected. It's a match where anything can happen. Will Real Madrid's experience and quality see them lift the trophy, or will Atalanta pull off another shocker and add it to their list of giant-killing exploits? Leave your response in the comments. So there you have it, the journey of the UEFA Super Cup from a journalist's desire to bring every club's desire. As we look forward to the 2024 showdown between Real Madrid and Atalanta, we're reminded of why we love this game, its unpredictability, and how it's full of surprises. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch more content on the latest Euro winners, or learn more about the history of the just concluded Euros, please feel free to explore the channel. Thank you for watching.